Hello, you're watching Spit It Out TV. I'm Dean Atta, and I'm here with Denis Fernando, aka Red Cable Sunday. Hello, Dennis.
Hello.
Okay, so shall I call you Dennis or Red?
Call me Dennis.
Okay, good. Just checking, because we have a Red. Red makes these videos for Spit It Out TV, so that might get confusing.
Yeah.
So welcome to
Thank
the English Speaking Union,
Beautiful,
the ESU.
beautiful.
We're here for an event for Black History Month. So the first thing I wanted to ask you was, what does Black History Month mean to you?
Well, I think the kind of history of black communities is often written out of history. So not many people think that, there's a lot said about the Industrial Revolution, for example. What a great, fantastic thing that was, what a change that made to society, and wasn't it a fantastic thing? But no one really thinks, well, that was funded by the slave plantations. The reason that that happened in Britain in particular was because of the slave plantations. And I think that when I was younger, people would always go, why don't you go back to where you came from? And it was a very hurtful thing because I was from here, but I didn't feel, for people to be coming up to me and saying, go back to where you came from. It didn't feel like I was from here. And I thought in myself, my parents made a big effort to take me to Sri Lanka. I learned about Sri Lankan history. Then I learned about migrant history. Why did people come to Britain? Actually, they came to rebuild the economy after the Second World War. So it gave me a sense of confidence, and I think that Black History Month is a very important thing in terms of both for black people to feel confident about what our collective history is, but also for the white community to know, well, this is actually the hidden history that you probably were never taught in school.
So, I mean, let's bring it to the present, because I know you do a lot of work combating racism and anti-fascist work. Is that correct?
Yes,
yeah. So, what is the black present like? What's happening for black people right now in your experience?
Well, I think it's a very mixed bag. On one hand, it's very, very positive. Today on Facebook, I saw a picture of a lynching, of people who had been lynched, including women. And the point was being made, not many people think that actually black women were lynched as well as black men were being lynched at the time. And so it was a very important but very powerful statement to be making, to be saying, think about this. This was happening within, your grandparents' lifetime. That was happening in America. So I think that obviously we've come a very long way. When you think of there's a black president of America and things like that. Those are very, very important chapters in history. But at the same time, I think that some of those prejudices are still there. They're just codified. So all the stuff that's said about migrants or about the Muslim community, Islamophobia, it comes back often to the same things, which is kind of angry, kind of racist or fascist people on the streets being violent about it. And that is the situation that led to the murder of Stephen Lawrence. So, I'm very pleased that there's been some justice for Dorian Lawrence, but I'm of the opinion that it's just some justice. That's because of the institutional racism that still exists. So I think it's a picture where there's a battle line, and we've got to keep fighting that battle line, and we can't be complacent because not only is power never given, it's easily taken away. So we've got to maintain that for everyone.
So I mean, you do this activist work, and then you're also a musician. And how do the two come together?
Well, basically, I do kind of semi-classical music, but each of the pieces has a motif to it. Like the single I released, Prelude to the Nocturne, is actually about saying here's a light part and here's a dark part, and they're both beautiful. And that I came up with the idea from reading Malcolm X, who said, racism is an invented concept, and darkness is seen as evil, and good is seen as light or white is seen as good. So I wanted to do a piece in which people saw darkness as beautiful, darkness as as beautiful as light can be. And so I think that music has the power and culture has the power to reach further, to get people who would be closed to a political message to think about those things. So if I can get to the Daily Mail readers and they think, oh, what a pretty piece of music, and then I turn around and go, well, that's about black power there. So that for me is a good thing.
Fantastic. And so what is the kind of future hopes, aspirations for your music and your work that you do in general?
So for my music, I think it's generally just to reach the people that like it. If I can reach more people who like that kind of music, it's always brilliant to play live, to play at shows that you've done and to play at other shows, because I always get an amazing feedback, and that's a fantastic thing. In terms of generally, I think it is just, we live now in a very, very globalized, diverse time. It's a time that is sort of unique, and you can see in places like Latin America and other places the future of what humanity is going to be like, kind of ethnically, because of the mix. You go to Latin America, you can't tell people will have an African descent grandmother and a European descent grandmother. And that's what is going to be the future of humanity. And I want to turn around to all those fascists and go, look, it's not that scary. I mean, they're having a party on the streets in Latin America. Just go and enjoy it. Do some salsa and you'll come back and you won't be so worried or so frightened about it anymore.
Will you bring some salsa into your music, maybe? Are you going to stay classical?
I think I'll stay classical until I can find someone who can dance salsa. And then maybe they can do the dancing.
Iona told me she's a secret dancer, so I might share.
We might have to
Get you in
that
touch,
tonight.
see what you can do. That'd be exciting. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to your future. How can people stay in touch and see what you're up to? If you tell the camera.
Okay, so I'm on MySpace, www.myspace.com/Red Cable Sunday, and you can also get me on Facebook, Red Cable Sunday, the Facebook page.
Brilliant. Thank you, Red Cable Sunday.